leadership wants us to.
All right, just wrapping up a press conference on the first confirmed case of COVID-19 in Monroe County. Dr. Ahmed saying this was going to happen. It has happened. Some key points to point out. The Rochester patient traveled from Rome to JFK, then from JFK via car here to Rochester. And as soon as symptoms presented, did the right thing, according to doctors, calling health officials and getting testing.
Right, rather than just showing up unannounced in the emergency room. A lot of things to unpack from this press conference. We want to go through a couple of them with you now. So we've learned a little bit about the patient, that he's a male, not much else about his particular identity, but his movements. And one of the things that doctors are doing now and health officials are doing now is what they termed contact tracing. And what they're doing is trying to make connections with all of the people that this person came into contact with from Tuesday when he arrived in New York to the point where he got to Rochester before calling the health department. So they're identifying that group of people, putting them into quarantine. Right. They're asymptomatic, so they're not being tested, but placed into quarantine, and then trying to determine beyond that level who those people may have come into contact with.
Right, and then watching them, monitoring them to see if they present any symptoms, and then to go from there. Social distancing, that is, efforts that they are urging on gatherings over 50 people to be canceled.
Right, there's a couple of things here. They said these are habits that we need to get used to, and that these could be months-long changes to our normal life routines. To that end, the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Rochester has been postponed. We heard Mayor Warren say it is not clear at this point whether or not it will be rescheduled, but the parade is off this Saturday in Rochester.
Yeah, and if you're just joining us, the local patient in self-quarantine at his home, the doctors there saying most cases are mild and do not require hospitalization, but still urging everybody to take extra precautions, saying, you know, wash your hands, don't touch your face. But of course, even during the press conference, we saw people touching their face. We're guilty of it. It's just a new norm that we're going to have to get used to, according to officials, to do what we can to stop the spread of this novel virus.
Right. A lot more details. They said the turnaround time on the test is about 8 hours, so they were able to determine very quickly what the status of this particular patient was. Of course, we'll have a lot more throughout the day and a lot more coming up on News 8 at noon as well. If you missed any of the press conference or want to learn more about what was said this morning, we have all the information you need online at rochesterfirst.com.
Yeah, we want to thank that patient for doing the right thing, and we want to thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the very